To take you far deeper into this entire story, we have with us a panel of experts and political voices. Let me go over to them. Let me introduce each of them. Then we'll come to our first guest. Miran Borwarkar is with us. She's the former Director General of the National Crime Records Bureau. We have Charu Pragya, a spokesperson for the BJP, Ritu Datta, a spokesperson for the TMC, and Sumitra Goenka, a social activist. Now, we'll go over to the political voices in just a second, but I actually want to first start with Ms. Borwarkar. Ma'am, thank you for joining us this evening on CNN News 18. Ma'am, if I could first ask you, all the developments taking place over the last few weeks in West Bengal. First, ma'am, just tell me your initial reactions right from what happened in January when you had a team of the ED officials going there to Sandesh Khali. Tell me your reaction to all of this first, then I'll come to you with a second question, ma'am.
So, it's not uncommon in the rural areas for women to get exploited to a limited extent, but not to the extent to which we are watching now, and to get overpowered or overawed by the authorities, the uniform, and not go ahead with their complaints. So I would say that it's a typical case not only in Bengal, but in many other places in the country where women are being exploited sexually and otherwise, and they keep quiet, but suddenly they come out. But in this particular case, I also see very strong political overtones. So that's my first reaction.
Okay. Ma'am, can you highlight what you mean when you say political overtones? I ask you that because obviously on one side you have the TMC saying all of this is coming out before the elections, the BJP is communalizing this. On the other side you have the BJP saying that the TMC is not running the show correctly across the state of West Bengal. So do you mean to say the political overtones are on both sides, or are you talking about one side in particular?
No, both sides. One side is probably trying to suppress the gravity of the situation, and the other side trying to exploit. But my emphasis would be to get the complaints, to not only name the accused who are not named, to get them identified, to give protection to the victims, to engage special prosecutors for the case, to go in for immediate trial through special court. Okay. So instead of politicizing by suppressing or by blowing it all over the country, a professional approach, and if possible, probably court-monitored investigation.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm actually going to ask you to almost repeat what you just said with a different question. If I were to ask you, ma'am, because you said that this is actually a situation that one will see in a few different parts of the country. It's not something that is entirely unique to West Bengal, and that suppression in this manner, exploitation in this manner does happen sometimes. I do want to ask you, ma'am, because so many reporters, not just our organization, reporters from multiple publications have said that there is an atmosphere of fear. So, ma'am, then let me ask you, what does it look like to create an atmosphere that empowers people to come forward in a space like this, in a situation like this?
In fact, it's very strange that like we handled such a case in 93s and 1994s, and that it's happening in the this century in 2024. So I would say that grassroots level interaction between governance and citizens, that must have been lacking. That we did not realize it in West Bengal, that the situation is so grave that not one, but a huge number of women are being exploited. So I am of the strong opinion that a court-monitored investigation and immediate trial and victim protection. Otherwise, again, though women are coming forward today, they may be threatened and they may go back. So right. Immediate trial, I would say, is what I see the way out.
Okay. Ma'am, I'm going to go over to our other guests now. We have some political voices here. We'll go over to them. Let's go over first to Ritu Datta, spokesperson for the TMC, who's with us right now. Mr. Datta, thank you for joining us this evening on CNN News 18. Mr. Datta, I'll take to you a few questions. Before we go ahead, because we've actually had versions of this conversation over the last few days with both the BJP and the TMC, and in some ways we've almost watched the contours of this conversation play out a few times, I will ask the TMC, I know every party indulges in what about in the BJP states, for example. That's a common approach to this argument. But I do want for tonight us to focus to the degree that we can on the women in Sandesh Khali. Sir, 2 or 3 key questions to ask you right now. Question number 1, sir. As we speak, Sheikh Shahjahan not yet suspended from the TMC. Why is that? What's taking so much time? Right now, we just watched a bite from Mamata Banerjee where she said this is a minor issue being blown out of proportion. So, would you agree? Do you think this is a minor issue being blown out of proportion?
Is the case. Let me just explain this sensitive matter to you. There are two sides of the story. First, we saw that after ED got beaten up when they tried to investigate Sheikh Shah Jahan, and then he has been absconding since then. But after 10 days post that, hordes of women, they came out in the open, they came to the media, and they said that we have been tortured. Right? Now, Sheikh Shah Jahan is nowhere in the picture. The other two people they were talking about. Before 6th of February, not a single complaint of sexual abuse or rape was filed. And I'm saying this on record. And my DGP has said the same. After that, just yesterday, one woman filed an 164 in front of the magistrate. And based on that report, one of the aides of Sheikh Shah Jahan, Shibu Hajra, is already arrested by West Bengal police. Uttam Sardar had allegations of multiple hearsay allegations, but had written complaints of land grabbing against him. Who both of these are elected representatives of Trinamool Congress, who are both behind bars now. So the angle is this: one, Mamata Banerjee has not spared her own men. She has done her Raj Dharma. Both of them are behind bars. Second, if these women that BJP and other political parties are saying that they have been tortured for 10 odd years. It is a rural province in Bengal where BJP is the key opposition party, the chief opposition party, and there is Congress and CPM. Why before 6th February, before ED got beaten up, why none of these opposition parties even raised their voices?
Okay. Sir, just
Right,
stay with us.
so-
1 second. That's a very important point. 1 second. Ms. Pragya, I'll come back to you with exactly that question in a second. Let me just ask Mr. Datta a follow-up question, but I want the BJP to answer to that. Where were they before this? Mr. Datta, I do want to ask you though, similar can be said for the TMC. If what you're doing right now is you're saying, okay, let's place the sexual harassment allegations on one side, we'll do that. There are other allegations, land grabbing, for example, and there are multiple voices from the ground. So this is not a political story entirely. Reporters from every channel as we speak are down there. Enough reports flood the internet right now about the kind of land grabbing malpractices that were taking place there for more than 5 years, sir. Where was the TMC?
TMC, this is a place where TMC has kept on winning. Like I said, if my party is doing wrong, say for example in BJP, if somebody is doing corruption in BJP, it is the job of the opposition to raise that voice. If TMC was doing wrong, what was these other parties do?
So,
where they try to grab the headline?
Mr. Datta, no. I promise you, I will go to the BJP to ask them exactly
Yes,
this. That's my job.
will.
You're not answering the question I'm asking you, though. Where was the TMC, sir? Land grabbing that we're talking about, sir. Several very serious accusations coming forward from workers on the ground.
Forget what Riju Datta has to say. What the Chief Minister of Bengal has said today, when Uttam Sardar, one of the aides of Sheikh Shah Jahan, got arrested 4 days ago, he was arrested not because one of the villagers who were giving bites on the television has made a complaint. No, he was arrested because the Chief Minister asked the police to file a suo motu cognizance. And after that suo motu cognizance, he was arrested. Now, I will give you one key aspect. And Charuji, I respect her, she can make a point. On the flip side, I will not go on Bharat Brahman like you have told me, Toya. So I will stick to Bengal. In Bengal, there is this gentleman called Mr. Shomik Bhattacharya. Okay, he was a contestant in 2021 for the Vidhan Sabha elections. He had a case of rape and molestation against him by a woman called Ananta Chatterjee, who did door to door with his video chats and his audio tapes, and he subsequently lost the election. Do you know where is Shomik Chatterjee now?